Human nature, or maybe it's just us, but in Maine, change can be difficult. So people in Camden were very sad a few weeks ago to lose the breakfast restaurant they had known and loved for 40 years.
They had some warning, but still it's a loss for a lot of people, and especially for the family that has owned and run Marriner's restaurant for the last 4 decades. As 207's Don Kerrigan discovered, they all came together the final week to say goodbye the right way.
On this very popular Main Street, Marriner's restaurant has been a mainstay. So much so that in the days before it closed, the lines stretched out to the sidewalk.
Delicious omelets, delicious Reubens. They've got breakfast and lunch, and they're the best place for breakfast especially, because there's no other choices.
Real people, real food.
Those real people are the Gabriele family, Dan and Becky and their 4 kids, who have owned this place and kept it real for more than 40 years.
40 years goes by pretty fast.
Oh, baby.
40 years has gone by very fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
An order of French toast, Linny? Yep. The granddaughters did the math and found I cooked our 4 million, I cracked my 4 millionth egg the other day.
Dan has been at the grill almost every morning by 4:30.
4 million eggs in 40 years. Crazy. But 15,000 sunrises over that waterfall and harbor, so that's the best.
It is a great view and shows just how much in this town Marriner's is in the middle of everything. Dan and Becky were in their 20s, just visiting Camden, when they decided to take over the restaurant.
We're young, no kids, and we fell in love with the town and raised 4 kids in the kitchen.
Last time, baby.
Daughter Lindsay was born that first year, literally growing up in the kitchen.
They would set me in the pot sink, and they would set my little infant seat up on the butcher's block counter in there, and I would just sit while they worked. And then at about the age of 3 or 4, I would stand on milk crates and start to do the dishes.
All 4 kids were raised that way, living upstairs until the family could afford a house, all learning to work hard at an early age.
Where are you here? Those are my 4 over?
They have all grown up to become teachers, just like their mother did for 27 of those 40 years. Lindsay, Troy, Joel, and Allie have all kept working at the restaurant during summer vacations.
Never really had to find a job as a youngin' because there was always one waiting for me right here.
And for the final week, all 4 of them came back, working in the kitchen and the dining room next to their parents, as they have for their whole lives.
This is where we grew up. This is where we learned how to put in hard work, how to improve our memory, and how to always smile and greet people where they're at.
And just about everyone in town has sat at these tables.
You know, Camden is looked at as an affluent town and caters to the tourists and the yachts, but it is a hard-working town. The Boston Globe put it right when they said a mill worker sitting next to a millionaire, and they're both treated like the most important people in the dining room.
And it's a safe place, a comfortable place, and people want to come and be here. And so we have sad moments, we have happy moments to share with each other as a community.
But Camden will now have to learn to share a new place. Dan and Becky have sold the restaurant so they can finally retire.
And 41 years here and 45 years married.
Hardest maybe for the kids.
Like now that we're coming to the end, I can't really fathom life without Marriner's, but at the same time, just thrilled for my parents to be entering a new chapter in their life.
So I was saying to you earlier, I have never known a day of my life without this place.
Wow.
So makes me sad.
We're about to.
We're about to, yes.
Is that hard?
It feels as if it's the first death in our family in a way, you know? It's a true loss.
The final weeks and days brought in countless customers the four have known seemingly forever. Regulars who know they will miss this place.
Because no matter what you order, it's going to be delicious. Really delicious.
Steak and eggs, pancakes, blueberry muffins, chowder at lunch.
The food is excellent. I've known the family for years. It's a wonderful, wonderful family.
But change happens. Lindsay, Troy, Joel, and Allie all have their own careers and say no one of them could take over and do what their mom and dad have done.
Thanks, son.
And so, for the last time, they have all been here working shoulder to shoulder together. A gift, Becky called it.
It feels right to see him through, to prop him up for this big finish. And the chance to close this chapter as a group has been exactly what was meant to be.
Real food, real people. Every town needs a place like this.
Team dinners, gatherings after happy and sad occasions. They always knew that Marriners would be here.
A new restaurant will open here in a few months, breakfast and lunch. And after 4 million eggs, Dan and Becky will be, they say, retired.
We're going 12 miles up the road to our farm in Union. We bought a farm a few years ago, hoping that this day would come at the restaurant.
Bittersweet, happy and sad, they all told us. And a big change for Camden. For 40 years, this town and this family have known and loved each other. That, at least, will not change.
The building is going to be quiet for only a few months. It's been bought by a restaurant owner from out of state who plans to open it up, and it's going to have a new name. It's going to be a breakfast place, so there'll still be something there going on for a long time to come, we hope.
The Gabriele said that they plan to, whoever's buying it, they're going to reopen it as the Buttermilk Kitchen at Marriner's and serve breakfast and lunch. The family members told us that they'll be sure to come in and give it a try. What a Maine story right there.